that energy and that interplay is fucking hot as shit. And I'm gonna tell you, most girls like it. If you find me a girl who says she doesn't, she's a rare exception. I'm sure you can find millions of them because that's how populations work. But I'm telling you, the vast majority of women will fucking enjoy this if you put the steps to get there. Hey guys, Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Today I want to teach you how to give a girl a cervical orgasm, which will fucking change her life. Cervical orgasms are probably the strongest orgasm that you can give a girl. Clitoral orgasms, very common, very easy to get. There's some girls who still struggle with it. I don't know if you know, but it's like 70% of girls can't orgasm from sex. And there's something like, I don't know, 15 to 20% of girls, rough estimates, but they sound legit, of girls who just really can't come. And that's super unfortunate, and we want to change that because we want to pleasure our girls. But clitoral orgasms, while they're more common and they can be great, obviously, they are a little bit more short-lived and they're not as fulfilling. What's more fulfilling is a vaginal orgasm when you're actually having sex with a girl and you make her come just from the penetration. Now, a lot of this actually has to do with her mental state and the mood that she's in. Now, if you want to learn more about that and work your way up to this, right, because sex is a skill and you have to practice and you have to get good at it, and it's a mental thing that she comes in her mind just as much as in her body, okay? So these tips I'm giving you, there's a mental component that is inseparable from it. So if you want to learn more about making a girl orgasm with techniques for the vagina, but also the mental states, I have some links in the description below that'll get you started. Now, the strongest orgasm, however, is the cervix. Now, the cervix is the tube that connects the ovaries to the vagina. And when a girl is aroused, because I had some people give some criticisms, because I mentioned pounding the cervix in one of my orgasm videos and everyone was in an uproar. Well, not everyone, just a few people, very loud people though. And they were upset that I'm telling guys to pound the cervix and you're gonna hurt a girl and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well you guys, first of all, you don't understand context, you're not using your brain. And you actually can hit the cervix really hard once a girl is aroused, which is, again, a context issue, but I don't think they were thinking that much. They were just being angry. So when the vagina actually elongates, what happens is the cervix, because the vagina's, spreading apart, it pulls back and it'll actually soften and it become more tender. And it won't hurt as much when you hit it. It'll still feel pressury, but it will actually give you pleasure. Just like many different things in sex. If you smack a girl's ass just, walking up to her and go, boom, okay, right? You can give your girlfriend a little light tap and she's like, oh, hi, baby. But if you walk up and just smack the shit out of her ass, she can be like, wow, what the fuck? But if you're in the middle of sex and it's just getting hot and sweaty and crazy, and then you just wham, smack her ass and you leave a print, she gets turned on. That's why when you're smacking a girl in the ass, one moment she's like, oh yeah, I like it. And then in another moment she says harder and harder, and you can't hit hard enough. And she just keeps enjoying it more. That's how sexual context works. It's how mood works, and it's how the emotions work, and pain and pleasure. They can become commingled, and one can become the other. So when you're pounding the cervix, when she's aroused and turned on, 5 minutes ago when she wasn't, it would have hurt. But now, not only anatomically is it more pleasurable, but now in her mind, like I said, a lot of this is going on in her mind. She is more pleasured by things that are more rough and more frenzied and crazy and passionate, right? So once you're really turned on together and you're having very fast, rough sex, which most girls enjoy, right? We don't want to say all girls because then people just have a fucking aneurysm. But let's say 99% of women that I've been with, when you're having really hot, rough sex, or when you're having hot sex, passionate sex, it can then turn into rough sex, and it feels almost a natural progression. You just want to go harder and rougher and harder and rougher, and then you guys are just pounding away. So what the step here is, first she has to get turned on for her to have this cervical orgasm. Then she has to have the mental component, right, which I talk about in the other video, which basically is she needs to feel comfortable. She needs to feel lusted after. If you're being passionate, she's gonna feel passionate as well, because she's gonna feel that you have that desire for her. So your thrusting energy, the energy to penetrate her, is going to make her want to open up, kind of like her, you know, flower is going to open up. We want to get fucking poetic with it, because she can feel this genuine lust. And the way that she feels it is, it's in your penis, it's in the way you're touching her, the way you're kissing her, and the way you're feeling. So she's going to absorb those emotions and open up more. So comfort, openness, and she needs to feel safe. She needs to feel like you actually care about her, because ironically, when you are doing rougher sex, like BDSM stuff, bondage, kissing, BDSM kissing, spitting, slapping, choking, all that stuff, there is a feeling of danger in it, but there's also a feeling of safety. And if you've had really rough sex with women, what you can see is that after you have the sex, there is a period which they need a come down, and they need to relax, and they actually need to feel safe during this period. And one of the technical terms that they use in BDSM community is called subspace, right? The sub, she has her little space after she is degraded or fucked really hard, and she needs to feel very cared for and very loved and cherished after a lot of rough sex. And so this demonstrates the nature of rough sex, especially cervical pounding, as we're about to get into, that there is danger but also a safety in there, and that must be in her mind, because if she feels as if you do care about her and you're there for her and for her pleasure, then she's more willing to let you do things that are a little bit more rough and on the edge. But that dangerous play will also be the most pleasurable for her, as long as she knows that you're there to take care of her after and during, of course, and you're paying attention to her and you want her to be safe. So the mental component, the arousal, and then lastly, the actual cervical pounding. Now, there are some requirements a little bit. Your penis will have to be long enough to pound her cervix. If it's not, then okay, that's fine. It's not like you're gonna not be able to give a girl a really great orgasm and a really great time, but having a longer penis is going to help here. There's plenty of ways to pleasure girls. I don't want you guys to get, all, oh, okay, damn, I can't be a sex god. No, that's not true at all. Most of the coming, like I said, is in the mind. But if you do have a penis long enough to pound a girl, and again, it's gonna depend on the girl, different girls have different vaginas, but I'm guessing you might have to be a little bit closer to 7 inches, about-ish. Again, depends on the girl, but the way you test it is by shoving your dick in her and seeing if you touch the edge after she's turned on, because like I said, the vagina will elongate. So once she's turned on and you're pounding in and you can feel the edge of it, then what you want to do is you want to start a little bit soft, right? You don't want to just go and just fucking start going into it really hard, because then there's potential for, the cervix is quite durable. The vagina is very durable, okay? I mean, it pops babies out. So, everyone's like, don't pound the cervix. I'm like, what? You can pop a baby out that way, but you can't put a dick in that way. I'm pretty sure it could take more of the pounding than you think it can, okay? So, you want to get in there really soft though, and you want to just get the tempo going. It's more for the rhythm, which I talk about in the orgasm video. So get the rhythm going, just start touching it a little bit, because she's going to be a little bit surprised as well. Maybe she's had a big dick before and had rough sex, who knows, but it's gonna feel very, it's gonna have an alien feeling at first. So she's gonna feel like I've had girls say it's like, it feels as if you're fucking me through my throat, right? It has this like really strange, like you're penetrating my entire being kind of feeling. And so it might be surprising for her. So warm her up to that feeling at first, then start going harder and harder and seeing how she's responding to it. And if she seems to be loving it and moaning and enjoying it and getting louder and louder, then escalate up to the point where you two are both comfortable, right? And when you get to the edge of it, it can look very crazy. It can look like you guys are just like, you're trying to kill her with your dick. But at the same time, this can be super fucking hot. It may sound like some fucking hentai fantasy where oh, you want to like put your dick through her mouth, but that's the way I think about it while I'm doing it. And that masculine, like rough, dominating energy that you have, and her like kind of submissive, I'm just getting pounded by this monster, that energy and that interplay is fucking hot as shit. And I'm gonna tell you, most girls like it. If you find me a girl who says she doesn't, she's a rare exception. I'm sure you can find millions of them because that's how populations work. But I'm telling you, the vast majority of women will fucking enjoy this if you put the steps to get there. Now, if your penis isn't long enough, you can do a few things to help. And even if your dick is long enough but you wanna get deeper, you can do this as well. Positions, very, very important here, okay? You can put a girl in missionary, but then you put her in doggy style and she's like, oh my God, ow, it hurts, it's too big. That's because positions change the way that your penis is going in, the direction. So the best position for cervical pounding is going to be either, I've heard some people call it froggy style. I like to call it lion style. Because you see on the lion mating videos, like they're on my favorite on Google Chrome, right? This is how the lions mount their bitches, right? So you put, instead of normal doggy position where you have like one knee down and one knee up and you're kind of going at an angle, what you do is you put both your legs over her almost, or at least parallel. We're getting fucking geometric here, like parallel with her. I would climb on this and start demonstrating for you, but okay. So you put your legs like up, like haunched, and you're kind of over her, and then you grab her waist, and so your pelvis is almost like even with her ass already, and you're gonna be going in at like a downward angle, right? And what's important too is that you angle her properly. So she wants to be as like down as possible, and an ass, like if her face can go into the bed, that's possible, and her ass is just as up as possible. That's a great position for it. Also looks beautiful because then it gives her back a really nice curve and it'll accentuate her ass. So then you're gonna go like thrusting down and in, and you're basically gonna be pounding her into the bed. That's essentially, you're pounding her and you're pounding the cervix. And so your dick is just going into the cervix. Amazing position to really get deep penetration. The other best one is to be in missionary, but you're gonna have both her legs in your arms, and then you're going to, what I like to do is add some choking action or holding your hand over her mouth action. It's kind of really hot when a girl's like moaning and screaming and you put your hand over and you can just like, I don't know. Maybe it's too kinky for some of you, but I like it. So you put her legs over your shoulders, and then you can put one hand on her throat and one hand over her mouth. Or if you don't want to get all kinky with that shit, you can maybe hold her hands back, or just grab on, and tell her to hold on for dear life because you're about to pound the shit out of her. So her legs are back basically on her shoulders, and you want to get her as back as possible and as kind of vertical as possible. And so you get yourself completely over her, and then you want to just be slamming into her cervix, slamming into her pussy, and just dropping your body. Like, let gravity do a lot of the work for you, because if you're fucking good, it's a workout, okay? So you wanna let physics do a lot of the work for you so you can last longer, because when you're giving orgasms, a lot of it is about rhythm and maintaining it up to the point where she gets lost in that kind of hypnotic daze, and then boom, it happens. So just start dropping in and letting your body weight do a lot of the work for you, and holding her tight in one position. And so all of this together, the cervical, the actual touching of the cervix, as hard as you can when she's up to the point where she's comfortable with it, mixed with, some of the bondage elements, the restraining elements, the very dominating elements. You can start moaning. I suggest you start grunting. A lot of girls enjoy it. I'm sure some people are gonna say, don't groan like an animal. What are we, bears? Well, sex is a primal act, okay? And if you're gonna be all sophisticated and touchy-feely in sex, it's not gonna work out too well for you, okay? So let your primal urges take over here. So start pounding in, you're holding her down, she's fucking moaning and whining and screaming, and you're just grunting like a fucking animal and growling, and you're pounding into the cervix. And keep the rhythm, right? And have a rhythm going, and watch how she's feeling. And the more she gets into it, the more you want to be going deeper or keeping that rhythm. And the most important part is not to lose track. Now, sometimes you can do kind of like rhythm breaks, that will actually keep the rhythm, like in a song. You know, like a song can be like going really high, and then all of a sudden there's like a pause, and then the drop comes, right? There's a musical element to sex as well. So of course, you know, have your own rhythm, have your own flow with it. You can go slower, you can go faster, you can go kind of middle tempo and then really high, and then you can do like some of these where I go, and that's some of the best, is when you do like these, you're going really fast and pounding, and then you start doing like these kind of like, I don't even know what like beat this is. It's like very, I wish I was like a music guy and it could be like 2-1, 2-1, 5-4, you know? So you're like boom, 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 and it's like this, I don't know, it's fucking symphonic, okay? So find a rhythm that works for you, find a tempo that works for you, and keep going, keep going, keep going. And you're gonna be seeing, you're gonna feel the heat coming off her. You're gonna smell it, you're gonna hear it, you're gonna see her expression, you're gonna be getting lost into it, because you can see I'm already getting all heated up thinking about it. When you get into it, she's gonna get into it. And that frenzied primal energy is precisely what you're looking for. That energy that you saw me just getting at, because I'm reliving it in my mind. That's what you want, and that's what's gonna turn her on. It's gonna drive her crazy. Now again, just to reiterate, the vagina can handle it as long as she's turned on, okay, and as long as she's comfortable with it. When you're getting to the more extreme stuff, there is gonna be an element of pain, but that pain can be pleasurable. Now, when you're dealing with that area of sex where things are both painful and pleasurable, you have to be careful and you have to use your brain. I assume this should be self-explanatory, but of course there's people out there who are, you know, concern trolling, and if you don't put a warning label and everything, they're the kind of people who burn themselves, you know, with coffee from McDonald's and then sue McDonald's for not telling them that it's fucking hot because they got issues. So pay attention, be safe, but do let your primal side out, because this is the deepest sex that is possible, literally, physically. You know, you can't actually put your dick through her. So enjoy this, enjoy the primalness of it, enjoy the ferocity of it, but also be safe and have fun. And if you pound that cervix hard enough when she's turned on, and you have a good rhythm, and you keep the tempo up, and you get lost in those emotions, and she gets lost in those emotions, you're gonna give a girl a cervical orgasm that's gonna fucking change her life. She's gonna fucking scream so loud that neighbors are gonna hear you. She's gonna be shaking afterwards when you're done fucking her. Like, you'll get done fucking her and she'll be like, her legs, she'll say, I can't like actually control my legs right now. Her breathing is gonna be very hot, hard and hot, and you're gonna see her face is all flushed, and she's gonna be all like, she's gonna just wanna touch you and hold on to you, and oh fuck, it's beautiful. And she'll feel it from like minutes after. She'll be walking around cock drunk for the next 10 minutes, just like, I don't even know what just happened. And when you do that to a girl, man, beautiful. Cool. All right, that's how you give a girl cervical orgasm. Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Hope you enjoyed the video. There's links in the description below if you want some more education, and I'll put some sciencey articles, so, you know, experience proves everything we need, but I'll put them there just for the people who need them. Like the video, subscribe, ring the bell, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.